Starting off, it will be smart to say that no two journeys will be the same, so don't get disheartened if your journey is at all different to what I say in this video. But that's just a light disclaimer before I get into the real shit. I'm gonna segment this into stages of the journey, without getting specific into all of the boring details. So if there's anything I mention that you want me to go more in depth on, say so down below and I'll get back to you. Let's get straight into the first section, which is, of course, starting out. Now, to start off trading, you're obviously gonna have to have heard of it from somewhere. Now, luckily for me, I was best friends with somebody that you may all know today as Mango. So, big up to him for hopping me on. Me and him started around the same time, but starting Forex is probably one of the hardest steps due to the whole community being somewhat separated. So when just on YouTube looking, you will probably end up at some of the biggest names. To learn what candlesticks and pips are, you can't really go wrong, since that kind of stuff is objective information. But it starts to get dangerous when it comes to strategies, since naturally the videos with the highest views are going to be the ones with the most attractive returns. Since this early, we're not really judging it by its legitimacy, are we? We just think the bigger the number, the better. A couple of these videos in, and we suddenly find ourselves fit to hop into the actual markets. But not live just yet. Demo trading. Demo trading is the place we go to get a good taste of the markets without having any of the associated risks, since essentially we're using fake money. This should always be a necessary step to take before heading into the markets with real money. So much will be learned about ourselves and the actual strategy that we are learning. But unfortunately, we aren't used to losing yet. So there are a couple things all of us do or did to limit the potential on how similar demo trading is to the real charts. Now, the first mistake being constantly messing with our account's capital. Since it isn't real money, we can easily change our capital after losses, meaning we never really get scared to make any mistakes. There is no punishment for taking a shit trade, so how are we ever gonna grow? This is also even more dangerous when paired with the second mistake, which is not journaling. For whatever reason, for laziness or forgetfulness, not journaling will always slow down your journey. Journaling literally means keeping a record of your journey. Therefore, in doing so, and reviewing it, you'll be able to see all of the areas you fall short on, in an attempt to never make the same mistake twice. If you are at all unsure on how to start a journal, I recommend you join my live journal Discord down below, and I can teach you everything you need to include to get the maximum value. It is actually currently very cheap, but I just thought I'd let a couple of you in there as a thank you. Wink, wink. No matter how well this period of time goes, many of us get a great feel for the markets and think we are capable enough, matured enough to take it to the next step, live account. Before we get into this, I think it's safe to assume that if we haven't already, we will also be getting to the point of strategy hopping. If you don't know what this is, it is hopping from strategy to strategy, as the name entails, trying to find the easiest money. The feeling of losing real money consistently will be enough for you to finally doubt the legitimacy of your, at this point, most likely bullshit strategy, since you've likely been on it from the very start. I'm not going to give much insight on what specific strategy you should revise, as it is very much dependent on what kind of trader you are, but let's just say I'm glad I found my strategy when I did. Right, back to the live account now. Starting a live account is smart for numerous reasons. Firstly, realizing that you cannot refill your account whenever you see fit anymore. It is a brutal lesson, but a much needed one. Secondly, understanding how significant of a role emotions play, and more specifically, understanding how we need to learn to disregard them. Impatience and greed all need to be cut off in order to make money in the markets. But when we lose our first dollar on our first trade, it can somewhat feel personal, but no matter what, we cannot fight back. Trading is not you versus the markets. It is us trying to move alongside them. The third and final lesson that I want to mention for this segment, and will also serve as a great segue to the next one, is that if you're anything like me, you are starting from absolutely nothing. No savings to put into a live account. So after hearing about how important compounding your personal funds is, it can start to feel a little bit distant. Now, when getting into normal supply and demand, my old mentor was extremely against the idea of prop firms. I don't know if it's at all different in the US, maybe it is, but it was due to their overall sketchiness. But with a lot of them recently being shut down, the ones that remain seem to be a lot more trustworthy. I back the whole concept of using prop firms, since they can be the perfect gateway for low-income individuals to get their hands on a high amount of capital. Prop firm challenges. Like I was just explaining, there was a rough patch that damaged the name of prop firms and caused a lot to shut down. But out of this, the amount of sketchy firms declined and a few managed to solidify their names as the safer ones. Join my Discord and ask me if you're interested in those. If you don't know, the way these challenges work is by having an opening fee, and in return, they give you a demo account. On this account, you need to hit a given profit target, and when you pass, you'll be given another demo account where you can withdraw all of the profits that you managed to secure. It is a bit of a weird concept to explain, but I hope you understand that. Now, if the live account wasn't profitable for you, I would recommend going back to the demo trading, but this is where egos may get in the way. This is not a step backwards. Just because one person you know went onto a challenge straight away doesn't mean that you need to, since if you aren't emotionally or technically ready, you will blow these accounts and you will regret it, perhaps get more impatient, likely get more impatient, blow another account and lose so much more money. Just because one person does something one way and manages to reach profitability doesn't mean that that is the only way you need to do it. Everybody's journey is different, and I'm sure there's profitable traders that have been stuck on demo trading for over a year. But if that's what needs to be done, then do it. Now, as far as what happens after you pass this challenge, well, you're just gonna have to subscribe and follow alongside me on this path to profitability. I love you all, and I hope to see you on my other socials down below. Peace.